If your alarm went off tomorrow and you could spend the day any way you wanted, what's the very first thing you do? Find out why that's important right now.
Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in.
Hi there, and welcome to another mini episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. I hope you're doing really well, and thank you so much for being here. I don't take it lightly that you're here. Today, I'm breaking down some key takeaways from our most downloaded podcast episode, which I reshared on Monday's episode 197. If you missed it, do go back and listen to the full episode for all the juicy details. In it, I discuss why you may be feeling stuck in your career and life, and how finding your Ikigai, or reason for being, can shift your life. In the next few minutes, we're going to be talking about alignment, that feeling when work, life, and energy points in the same direction. Think of it as your Ikigai in motion. If you're tired of snoozing through mornings or drifting through days that look fine on paper, stay with me. You will leave with 3 practical steps you can implement this week. So let's start with the honesty and acknowledgement. When we feel misaligned in our lives, it can sneak up quietly, and these are some examples of red flags I hear often from my clients. One is that Sunday sinking feeling, or that low-grade buzz of dread that starts late Sunday afternoon. If you feel that, it means that you're not looking forward to the week ahead. The second red flag is when your wins kind of feel hollow, meaning you may have achieved some great goals, either in work or life, but the satisfaction of achieving those goals is fleeting. This could indicate that you weren't aligned with a goal in the first place. And the third red flag is a lack of energy, when you need coffee to prop you up rather than purposeful work which energizes you forward. If any of these feel familiar, you're not broken. You're simply out of sync with what matters now. Finding your Ikigai, or reason for being, is a key to finding alignment in your life. And it's not a fixed thing. It's something that can change over time, just like you do. So how do you go about finding this alignment? Start by finding your Ikigai, or reason for being. Traditional Ikigai diagrams can seem complex, so let's distill and simplify them here. Start with what you love or are passionate about. What activities naturally light you up? Second, ask yourself, what are you really good at? What are some skills or strengths you've honed or can learn really fast? And third, contemplate on what the world needs. What are some problems that people actually need solved? And what values do you have that can address those problems? And fourth, what can you be paid for? This is where you receive abundance in your life from the intersection of your strengths, passions, and values. You can start to find alignment when at least 3 of these overlap. Hitting all 4 is golden and will happen over time, but don't let perfection freeze you. Start by finding the intersections, and this action alone will increase your positive or anabolic energy to move forward. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a work in progress. So here are 3 exercises you can do this week to begin the forward motion to finding your Ikigai. The first thing you can do is practice the 10-minute strength audit. What you can do is grab a timer and set it for 10 minutes and list moments in the last month when you felt competent and alive, even tiny little ones like, I don't know, mediating a tough family chat or building a spreadsheet that finally made sense. Underline the patterns. What about you made those things happen? That's a clue to the what I'm good at circle. Second thing you can do is a passion pulse check. Recall what your 7-year-old self did for fun before the grown-up rules kicked in. Did you sketch? Did you organize pretend stores? Turn part of those things into a micro experiment. For example, 10 minutes of sketching before dinner or designing a pretend storefront on Canva. This is when you're gathering clues for the what I love circle. And then the third thing you can do is do a 7-day test drive. Pick one overlap from moves 1 and 2 that we just talked about that also solves a tiny problem for someone else. Then test it for 1 week. For example, if you're good at simplifying data and you're passionate about storytelling, maybe you can turn a friend's messy resume into a compelling 1-page snapshot of their lives or their experiences. If your friend loves it, you've just discovered what the world needs and maybe what you can be paid for down the line. Many experiments like these can help you towards the pivot you are looking for because they give you clues and tangible data and evidence on what will really create alignment in your life. You can repeat these exercises and identify which idea really sticks and creates excitement for you. So try it this week. And keep in mind that even the best experiments can stall if you become faced with 4 typical energy blocks. And here is a brief review of those. The first are your gremlins or inner critics, that voice that says, "Who do you think you are to do this?" The second are assumptions, thinking like, if I try this, I will fail. The third are interpretations, when you think things like, well, my last business failed, so this one will too. And the fourth are the big limiting beliefs we have in our lives, like, I'm too old to start over. Notice which one of these energy blocks pops up first this week. Then name it out loud and acknowledge its presence. When you name a fear, it loses half its power. Ask yourself, why is it here right now? 9 times out of 10, it's here to keep you safe and stagnant. And you don't need that anymore. If you'd like further guidance on this, I put together a short free guide on reversing each block, and you can grab that in the show notes with the link. So, 3 takeaways to remember from today. Misalignment shows up as Sunday afternoon pressures, hollow winds, or as an energy deficit. Ikigai lives where passions, strengths, values, and needs intersect. Aim for any overlaps. And run small 7-day experiments and watch for the energy blockers. If this hit home and you want a thinking partner to walk you through it, I'm offering a complimentary session to map out your Ikigai. Grab the link in the show notes before spots fill up, and let's have a chat. And if you found value here, share this mini episode with a friend who keeps hitting the snooze button on Monday mornings. Until next time, my friend, stay curious, stay aligned, and remember, small moves can shift entire mornings.